Oh, hello. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the terrain that comes in Kill Team Moroch. I'll be giving you a little review of it from a construction point of view, and going through how I built it and highlighting any problems and pitfalls along the way. Before we get started, I'd like to apologise for the sound. There's a massive fan going in the background, which is probably going to upset you. We are experiencing a ridiculous heat wave here in the UK. The window is open, the door is open, and so you'll just have to put up with any stray noises that come into the room. I'm really sorry about that. So, the first piece of terrain in the set is the Hab Bunker. I'm going to get my laser pointer so you can see what I'm talking about as I go through the terrain. So the first thing to say about this terrain is it is extremely chunky. These walls feels like you're dealing with a playset, right? More than a finely sculpted citadel miniature. Like these things have heft, weight to them. Okay, so you slot the four pieces of wall together, and then when you tessellate the two roof sections on and glue that together to form a square. I know a lot of people will say to leave them in two halves so you can separate them and use them as two kind of corner ruins. But I am a great believer for Kill Team. I like to assemble the terrain as is in the instructions, to use it like a map pack as intended, so that we have that consistency of play. But by all means, you probably could leave these as two halves and then just push them together as needed if that was something that you'd like to do. One thing I will point out here, so up here on the instructions, it says here to glue on one of these little lights dead center on the miniature, right? That would be here. These light pieces don't actually fit in the in this orientation. They don't fit in any of the grooves that go in this orientation. They only fit in the grooves that go in this orientation, right? So where I've put them are the two places you need to put them for maximum structural integrity, right? So they go in the two places where they can physically fit, where they are helping to secure a join between two separate pieces of ceiling, right? And then we got the shield that we put on the front. It looks a bit weird and a bit gamey, okay? But I think it's important. It's interesting that it's on one side, and then you can dramatically change how this piece of terrain works by changing its orientation on the map. That's pretty clever. Now, on these sprues, you do get two of these sprues. You do get some spare pieces. You get these window covers that I think are quite nice. You get one there and two up here. We're not told to use them, and I do think they're quite nice. I might have used them, except that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 windows and 6 window covers. And I think if I was going to use them, I'd want to use them on all 10 windows. And it is potentially going to change how the piece of terrain plays as well. So as advertised, I've left those off. You also get these ruined ceiling pieces that I guess you could use if you wanted to try and give if you wanted to use them as corner ruins and you never wanted to mate them together to form a whole building, you could use that to give them a more organic effect as well. Okay, so that's the Hab Bunker. Moving on to the Stockades. The Stockades are really odd. I've got a couple of things to say about the Stockades, okay? So, as you go through the instructions, you'll see here the prevalence of the do not glue symbol. Do not glue, 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 do not glue. So basically what you're doing is you're clipping out the 4 wall sections, that's those there, okay? You're clipping out the 4 corner pieces, and now they are in 2 parts, so there's one half of them, and then there 1, 2, 3, 4 is the other half of them, and gluing those together to get the 4 corner pieces. And then you've got the 4 pieces that can be used to mate the stockade walls to the side of the Hab Bunker, okay? There's kind of a little shape that fills in the gap there, and those are those pieces. And then you're kind of asked to just line them up together and balance them. So here, this isn't glued together. This is just a friction fit with the wall and the little joiny piece and the side of the Hab Bunker. And here's showing the corner piece to make a corner of the stockades. And they show you that in the instructions, right? They show you that they can make corner pieces, or you can join them to the Hab Bunker. but not to glue them so you can change them around and move them in between games. It's fine as far as it goes. I do worry about them being a little bit loose. Obviously, once they get spray undercoated and painted, there'll be a bit more friction there because all the parts will be a bit thicker. So maybe there's a little bit of tolerance going on from Games Workshop's point of view, but certainly unpainted, I very much worry about them sort of, especially this join here that I keep circling with the mouse. I very much worry if that gets knocked, that little bit's just going to fall out and the whole thing's going to look untidy. Then we've got the landing pad. So, oh sorry, I meant to say, this picture. Anybody that's built this terrain, either the Stockades or the Hab Bunker here, all the windows on the Hab Bunker, you can see them here. All the windows on the Hab Bunker and all the windows on the Stockade walls have two of these horrible little pieces that you have to clip out, and you spend half your time clipping out these horrible little pieces and pushing them out with your fingers, and you have to corral them in a dish or something or they go everywhere, and it's upsetting, okay? Because these are so thick, the plastic's really thick, and you need to put quite a little bit of force on your clippers to actually chomp through them. You know, I think the scenery kits that come with these rounded edges, I believe, I could be wrong, certainly at one point they were made in China. They're not quite made in the same way as the usual Warhammer stuff, and for that reason it's not quite as much of a pleasure to put this stuff together. The landing pad. So the landing pad's really funny. It comes with one sprue and one landing pad, just on its own, not on a sprue, just a piece, right? So you start off by gluing the walls, the four walls onto the landing pad, leaving the corners. These are keyed. Now this tripped me up a lot, right? The keys are these little tabs that go on the underside, okay? So it's not that you have two walls the same and then two other walls the same. Each of the four walls is different. In the case of the long ones, they're subtly different, but they are different because they're keyed into the base. So pay careful attention to the part numbers or test fit everything to make sure you're putting things in the right space. Don't do what I did and just charge ahead assuming it's two short walls and two long walls. Once you've put those on, you've then got to put the corner pieces on, and these are keyed to the model, so you can't put the ladders in the wrong place and you can't put the ventilators in the wrong place, because at the top of the ventilator, this is what you look for. You got the two pipes, so you look for the corners that have the indent for the two pipes. The ladder side doesn't have that distinctive indent, okay, so it's ladder and vent, and then on the other side ladder and vent. And then you've got the steps. Build the steps. I did not glue the steps on because it struck me it would be better for transport to leave them loose. They stand there quite happily, not glued onto the bunker, and it means not glued onto the landing pad rather, and it means that you don't have to use them in every setup if you don't want to. I think, in fact, some of the, I've not double checked, I think some of the missions in the narrative pack actually don't tell you to put the steps on the landing pad as well. Then we got the Vox Antenna. Much less to say about this. I started to give up the will to live with the heat, and therefore I forgot to take a sprue picture. I'm very sorry. The Vox Antenna basically goes together exactly as it said on the tin. I must say, for the Vox Antenna, the Auspex Shrine and the landing pad, the parts are very cleverly keyed, so you really can't make a mistake, even if you're not really looking at part numbers. The Vox Antenna just goes together. There's really not that much to say about it. It's the same with the Auspex Shrine. It very much just goes together. Again, each of these four legs are individual parts, but they use really interesting different shapes of key to when you make the piece on. So just test fit, make sure you get it right, test fit before you apply glue, like we always say. Excuse me. And you'll get that right. This is one of those divisive pieces where they've gone to great lengths to make it so that you can turn the radar and move the radar up and down, and some people hate that. I will say it's a very tight fit, so you don't have to worry about sometimes with these things where you can leave it loose and then the weight of the piece pulls the thing down, it looks really droopy. It doesn't do that. Whether when you get the paint on it, it might actually just fix it in one position, so make sure that when you're spraying it, you work hard to stop it from fixing in one position if that's important to you. Certainly this I wouldn't glue, simply because it's going to be useful to keep these two pieces separate for transport. And then here you get the option of being a vertical or horizontal for your radar dish. I picked horizontal If you picked vertical, I'd be very interested in knowing. Let me know in the comments and we'll see how many horizontals there are versus how many verticals. Have to admit, I largely picked horizontal because that was what they did in the example. And I'm dying of heat exhaustion, so I haven't really got the capacity for creative thought at this moment in time. Right, that's it for today. That's for running through. Sorry about the perhaps lack of quality. It is hot. I was going to normally live stream today. I don't think I could sustain 3 hours of live streaming. I don't think I could inflict 3 hours of me talking on the rest of my household with the door open. I don't think that would be fair. And I think if I close the door, I might actually die. So, yeah, that's that. Sorry about that. Do remember to let me know, horizontal or vertical. And I'm going to stream the painting of this on Thursday, weather allowing. Thursday is the first day of my summer holiday, so I may even start to stream a little earlier. I don't really know, I haven't decided. But as soon as the weather seems reasonable, I'm going to stream painting this up on Thursday. I definitely do want to stream on Thursday because I missed today's stream because of the heat wave. I missed last week's stream because I was ill with COVID. And next week I'm going on holiday up north to visit my family and things, so I'm going to not be able to stream then either, or potentially put up very many videos. Sorry about that, but I had to get one out today going over this Moroch Terrain. Speaking of videos, while you're here, I did recently put the first Horus Heresy video on the channel, so check that out if you are curious about Horus Heresy. It's not doing as well as the Kill Team content, as I knew it wouldn't, because people who are watching this channel are watching it for Kill Team stuff. But I really think the miniatures in the background of Horus Heresy are great, and we are doing the Zone Mortalis missions, so it is a smaller scale game the way we are playing it. I might have a battle report up for Zone Mortalis 500 points soon. We've played the game and I've taken the photographs. I was going to wait until the next stage of the army building was ready to do the whole one long video. Someone has said to me they'd be interested in seeing the battle report separately, so that may go up. But it is still predominantly going to be a Kill Team channel. It's just there's not Kill Team news. I mean, there was Kill Team news today, right? And then it was, how good are the narrative scenarios in the Knackman book that everybody's had for 6 months? What? Games Workshop? And on that note, thank you. If you've enjoyed the stream, please leave me a comment to tell me that you've enjoyed the stream. Press the like button, that helps as well. Subscribe if you haven't. I'm trying to push it through and get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be amazing. And if you've got any top tips for staying cool while hobbying in a heatwave, that will be something else to put in the comments as well. Alright folks, have a great day, and I hope you manage to get a decent night's sleep in this appalling weather, those of you that are in Europe. Alright, bye bye. When I find the button. There we go. Bye bye.